Welcome back, and today we're going to talk about flooding. A stressful moment in your life when water comes in, possibly to the new home, your older home. It could be at work. It comes in through the windows after heavy rains, flooding. You could have backups from a septic tank through water through the basement of the floor from your drain. You could have a hot water tank burst or leak. You could have any kind of septic system or a sump pump back up, the power went out and your pump doesn't work anymore, and now you have water in the basement. So these stressful times, most all of us have been through, and it's good to have some kind of plan of attack of the right equipment that you should get to get the job cleaned up. Let's say that there's water, possibly an inch or two, all across your basement. Now this is a lot of water when you've got that much water, especially if it's soaked up into carpets. So the best thing to do right away is get yourself a pump. Now you may have a sump pump that failed, that the waters came back on. You may have water that's pushed up through your drain in your floor, through a backup somehow outside. It could be coming through the window as a flood. Could be leaks through a block and a block wall, which has accumulated. So to attack that, let's just say that there's, I've brought out here 3 different types of pumps. Now, if you've got a lot of water, over a couple inches, you need something that's going to pull that out fairly quickly. This is a 2-inch submersible pump. It's electric. It can sit right on the floor, but bear in mind that this area in the bottom here where the holes are is where the water's drawn in. And it's only going to draw water until it gets down to that point. Once it starts sucking air, this pump is not going to pump. So in that case, if you've got more than a couple inches of water, this wouldn't be a bad pump to have. Now, if you have a sump pump, always remember that that is below the surface of the floor. So you can always put a pump like this into the sump pump area and draw the water out of there, so it's always below the floor level. So that would be a good pump. It's easy to carry, it's easy to get downstairs, plug it in, get your discharge hose on here, which you've shown in other videos, and away you go. At least you're getting some water out of there. Now, if you don't have a lot of water, maybe less than an inch or so, but there may be across the whole floor, there's 2 other areas you can go. A little submersible pump like this draws the water from the bottom of the pump. It'll take it down to within about 1/8 of an inch in the floor. So this is an ideal pump to put, say, where the drain is in your basement floor, where it's depressed for a drain. And this could sit. You could put this right on there. It's going to be a little below the surface of the floor. It's an 1.25 inch hose. You can do it with a garden hose as well, but at least it's very light, easy to carry down. Electric. Just have to keep, in all cases with the electric, the plug out of the moisture area, and plug it in, and away it goes. One that's got a little more capacity is this larger one here, we call residue pump. But again, it sucks from the bottom, will draw the water down to about 1/8 of an inch of the floor, but it's got a 2-inch discharge, same as this other one. So obviously you're going to move a lot more water if you've got a whole basement full of water. You could put it in that area as well. Now, if you can't find where the depression is, where your drain is in the floor, obviously, anywhere is good where the water is the lowest or the deepest, or again, down where the sump pump is. And you can hang it off of even off the side of something and hang it into that hole. And put your discharge hose in. Your discharge hose, don't forget, it can go into a drain maybe if you have access to a drain, but also stick it out the window. You don't necessarily have to run it all the way up the stairs and get it out the back door. Take your shortest path, and rather than running hose all over the house to try to find an area to discharge the water. So again, depends where it's coming in, depends how much water you have. Now let's say you've got the water down to a reasonable level where the pumps have taken care of most of it, and you're ending up with a damp floor. Possibly you've got a rug that's soaked, which is the case in a lot of cases. So let's move over to something else that's going to help you from there. You may take the pump back, you may come back and get another couple more pieces of equipment. Now, A lot of people run and they get their shop vac or wet vac, which is fine if that's what you have. That's certainly what you want to use. A vac like this one will draw the water up. Usually remember that you've got to dump it somewhere. So if it gets heavy, you've got to get it out in the sink or somewhere in another drain that'll where you can get the water disposed of. Now bear in mind that your shop vacs and your wands for these are meant to usually pick up water that's on a concrete floor or a hard surface. So the suction in it is good. Obviously, it depends on the quality of the vacuum you're using. But again, it's filling up, you're dumping, it's filling up, you're dumping. And you'll be able to get a lot of the floor off all the water off a hard surface. But let's say you've got a rug down there, or area rugs, a rug that's maybe glued down to the floor. Could be a very short commercial rug, or again, it could be a very Berber or something that's it's glued down to the floor. A lot of them are glued in the basement, or you have an underpad. Consider using a carpet extractor. Now, this particular carpet extractor is excellent because it has 2 suction motors as opposed to 1. The wand surface area that it's sucking from is very narrow and smaller. The suction is a lot more, so that this unit, even though you have to empty it once the container fills up like you would any time that you're cleaning your carpet, but you don't have to use the discharge for putting solution or detergent on your or cleaner onto your rug. Just use it as a vacuum and go along and keep pushing down and moving back. You'll find you'll draw out a lot more water out of the carpet. And obviously, the key is here that we're trying to get as much moisture out of this carpet, out of this room, so that we don't get the onset of mold or anything. So this would be your next stage, to make sure that you're trying to pull out as much of this water as you can that's on the floor. So you're going to have to just keep going over and over it. But the key is to get at it right away. Don't leave it for 2 or 3 days. Don't think I'm busy. The mold's not going to wait for you in your time. It's going to grow and create a problem and smell problem sooner than you want. So try and get at this as soon as possible, or as soon as it's noticed, and draw out as much as you can out of the rugs with the carpet extractor. And somebody else obviously could use the vacuum on maybe just the concrete floor. Good plan of attack. But now, once we've got some moisture out of that carpet and we've got a damp carpet, we have another issue. We got to get the carpet dry. And because we have so much humidity in the room, and because we have the moisture in the rug, you don't want mildew to set in, you don't want mold to set in, so we've got to start getting this place dry. Now, the next thing you should have is a fan. You get as much water out with the carpet extractor, then you go to a fan. These are called snails. They're actually for drying carpets, and their design is for that purpose. And all they do, it's not heated air that you want, because you'll ripple your carpet. Then you're going to have to get a stretcher probably and stretch it and get the ripples out of it. So these just circulate the air that's in the room. You can lift the corner of the carpet up, put it underneath and try to blow air underneath the carpet. Have another one going the other way and create a shearing action on the rug. Or you can just, if you can't get them up, of course, at least you can place them in the room and get the air circulating around, so you can get a vortex type of thing going on. Air movement is important. Now, bear in mind, we're not supplying heated air, but what we're doing is getting that moisture out of the carpet or out of the maybe the walls, if it's possible, and getting it into the air. Now we have to dispense of that damp air out of the room to get the thing to dry. And what you'll need then is a dehumidifier. The dehumidifier will draw out that air, all that moisture, and put it out into a drain and get rid of it, so that your room can start drying. And you can get rid of, hopefully not have, if you get at it right away and you don't let it sit, then you can get in and get it drier so you don't get mildew or anything setting in. So the carpet extractor, a fan, a dehumidifier, those are the kind of things you should be asking for and getting if you have a flood, to try to get the situation under control. You'll feel a lot better that you have an idea of the right thing to get, you'll have a light feeling that you're doing the right thing, and the results will show for themselves. Bear these in mind if you have that panic moment. Hopefully with a little bit of education it doesn't become overbearing, and you know immediately what to do to save the day. So hopefully this will help you out on those trying moments, and don't forget to subscribe.